Hey there, nevers and naysayers. August 30th, 2024. Don't have time for a video, but I thought I'd stop and show. I just happened to run across something, but out of the ashes. That's my title for this video, I guess. Out of the ashes. It's amazing the things that hang on and the things that we need diversity-wise to put in our pasture field. Now, is there enough for that bird's foot trefoil there to graze? No. But it's sitting here blooming when everything else is crispy, dry, dead, not doing much. I mean, the things we got here, fescue, some dandelion, that's pretty much it. But out of the ashes comes something else. And same with our warm season grasses. We really need to be adding some more of those. I'm really starting to think about our experts tell us not to put warm season grass in our cool season fields. And I guess I know the reason why, but it escapes me at this moment. But mostly because the management is so different, and they don't think we can. But after having a warm season grass field, I don't know that it's impossible. The problem is that April, May time frame and that October, November time frame, those fields that you do graze that got warm season grass, they may graze them out. And I'm here to tell you, it's not going to be a problem in October, November. It's going to be a problem in April, May, when it's baby. If we graze it too hard in the baby stage, that's when it's going to be a problem. So if I had to guess, if I had every field here interseeded with warm season grass, about half the farm would be affected. Would it be dead? I don't think, but it would be affected by the overgrazing. Once the root was established, we wouldn't have that problem. I totally didn't pick up the phone to talk about warm season grass or diversity. I picked up more to just look at the different side of things. That's the chicken pen. I'm on my way to get chicken feed, and we moved some of the new hens out to the electric woven wire. We've got a guard dog issue. We've got one guard dog that is bored because of being locked in the sacrifice lot, and it's starting to affect the sheep. He plays with them, and he plays too rough because he's just bored. And I'm hoping maybe we can use him as a protector on the chickens. Now, knowing he'll probably get worse bored there, but the chickens are a whole lot flightier and may not allow him to play with them. So we'll see. Where a sheep just tends to lay down and let him chew all over them because they don't have any fight in them, or a chicken's going to fight back or at least move away. So that's the plan. After that, if it doesn't work, I don't know what we'll do with the guard dog. As I've said before, videos for me is to talk about our problems, our concerns, our celebrations, our good times and our bad. And that's a bad one right now. We got to get him out and get him figured out and get him a job, because otherwise he's just taking up space and eating feed around here. But outside of that, had a good talk with a neighbor today. I would call it conventional dairy. I don't think they'd be mad if I said that. They've got some heifers on pasture and do some things, but rather conventional, corn silage and the like. Their yield was down. They haven't really got quality tests back yet, but they assume it's going to be down. But him and I talked, and we talked, both of us laughed and smiled and had a good conversation. I said, as I'm telling people, it's a drought and it sucks, but I ain't ready to jump off the bridge. It is what it is. It's farming. It's the way things go, and part of that is he and I both are pretty good planners. I mean, we plan for things like this. We hope they don't happen, but we know they can, and we know what to do. And I suggest, if you're one of those people that's running around, skies falling, and you don't know what to do, part of that is planning. Part of that is figuring out a plan. And I was never a person that put a lot of stock in having a plan. as far as written down plan. Like I had a plan in my mind, but I never written down. But I've wrote so many over the years as a part of my job. Um, that, and I honestly probably don't have a real written plan for me, but I've wrote so many that I know in my mind and I know in my heart what our plan is and what we need to do. I should follow it a little closer. We should have got rid of livestock way before this happened. We'd have another month maybe of grass. We should have seen it, but it's that woulda, shoulda, coulda. You just hope for that next rain, and that next rain, and that next rain, and like I said, here in Eastern Ohio, we get to a point where, okay, this is it. Like, there's not gonna be any more forage for the rest of the growing season. We may get some in the fall, but we're not gonna do that. Outside of that, him and I talked today. He's gonna plant a bunch of triticale on corn silage ground. I'm honestly thinking about starting in, and the hard part is it's a big risk, and I may even have to look into insurance on it, but renting a no-till drill, buying wheat, barley, rye, or triticale, and planting it everywhere that, like in front of here where this was all crop field before. Just run over it with a planter, and we'll put crimson clover, we put radishes with it, and I would take that opportunity to just go ahead and put red clover in the mix too, just for diversity's sake, but plant something. The risk we take is we'll get a rain, if we get a hurricane, let's say, go through and dump 3-4 inches on, and it goes ahead and sprouts and it goes ahead and grows, and then we go back to this weather and it just dies for lack of second. That's going to be a problem. The thing is, I think we're getting to a point where that can't happen anymore. We're going to get to a point where it's not going to get that hot, it's not going to get that dry. If we get the rain and get it started and it goes ahead and starts and put a root down here in these soils, I think it'll still stay alive. I'm saying that because there are beans planted out there at his place, and they're surviving. They're not thriving in any way, but they're all alive. It takes a really specific season to make those things completely go away and not grow. What I'm thinking is we'll plant it and it'll just sit here dormant until we get a rain, and then when we do, it'll go, and hopefully we'll get that second one. If we don't, I think it will just grow a little, and as long as it's in the ground, there'll be enough to kind of keep it alive, but it won't die for lack of second. Let's hope. So with that, I'll say we'll see you next time.